Hi, it's Dave. Today I'm joined by Professor Leo Koguan. He is the founder and chairman of the board of SHI International, a multi-billion-dollar corporation based in the US. And he's managed to become the third largest individual Tesla shareholder with 6.5 million shares. Professor Leo, I want to welcome you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And it's my honor and privilege to be interviewed by you, the one that really respected and the best podcast that I know in this area. So it is my privilege and honor to be here. And please.
Yeah,
continue.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for taking the time. There's so many people who are very curious about your life story and how you accumulated over 6 million Tesla shares, but also your thoughts on Tesla and the future of the technologies that Tesla is developing. So let's start first. Today was a very interesting day. We had all-time highs for Tesla, breaking $900. Were you watching? What were your thoughts, as you were looking at perhaps the stock price?
I said, wow, really, really great. But at the same time, I have to pay more. I was buying last night. I bought a lot. I bought more than 1 million shares called option yesterday. And I bought some shares also. And because I think although Tesla price is very high by all definition, but the future of Tesla is just unbelievable. And I think the only company that I believe that can be the largest company in the world and the best technology and the most innovative and also the most that can help mankind to be more ecologically civilized kind of economic development and living in a better world.
I'm interested, it seems like you made some new purchases. You bought some stock and then you bought some options, or I guess long-term options. Are they expiring in about a year or so, or what's the kind of date?
Yeah, some of the option, I bought it for January or some little bit later. Partly because, believe it or not, I don't have enough money to buy more Tesla stock, so I have to work hard to try to make some profits from my tradings, so I can buy the stock that I like to buy. And fortunately, I had earlier option with a very deep in the money call, so the price for me, at least in January, will be much lower. But the new calls that I did, about 1 million share call, they are the price about $905, $908 per shares. So I believe that the price, I don't say it's cheap, but still reasonable. And I'm just looking at the potential, the future of Tesla, still underappreciated. And of course, depend on Tesla execution. And I believe in Elon Musk and his team. And hopefully they will not disappoint us retail investors.
Got it. So let me try to understand your kind of Tesla investing strategy. So you have some core, I guess, Tesla shares, and then you have some long dated, deep in the money calls. So I'm guessing you will try to maybe exercise some of those calls if you can, and then you have some trading kind of
Yes.
options as well. Okay.
Probably I don't have enough money to buy all the physical shares. If I have enough money, I just buy all physical share that I want to buy. Unfortunately, don't have enough money, so I have to find a way to make more money. As I mentioned to you earlier, that I had about 2.3 million shares of Tesla in the early 2020, and which was free split. So it's almost about 12 million shares after split. And unfortunately, during the crash, because due to pandemic problem, in March. So I lost, I would say, almost everything. Only a few thousand shares left. And it was so painful to me. So I told other retail investors, be careful with your margin borrowing because, when the stock keep going up, you are very happy. But when they go down, they bite you really hard. So I was bit because I was too optimistic about Tesla future, and long terms is no change, but the short terms is very volatile. So you get, unless you can control your risk in the short terms, you may lose everything. So I would say you have to manage your risk very carefully, and from that, I'm trying to reduce my risk. And the best way to do it, to have your own cash to buy it, or to you make profits and you buy more Tesla share from your profits, not from margin borrowing or not from other means.
Are you borrowing? Are you using margin right now, or are you kind of just not trying to go into that right now?
I have some small amount of margin borrowing. There are some other financing that I have so I have more share to buy.
Got it.
So it's not easy for me to accumulate this much. It does not come from the sky. I have to collect the crumbs to make crumb cakes. So I dream of crumb cakes that I can eat and share with others, because all my money in the end will go to charity. I mean, I'm trying to endow San Yuan Culture Civilization 2.0, powered by KQID time engines for a few hundred years after I die. So hopefully I can accumulate about $100 billion or more to fund this endowment. It's not for myself because I have more than enough with the one I have. So that's motivate me to get up in the morning and to do the trading and to buy and sell some stocks to create a fortune to support this endeavor. And as we discussed earlier, that Elon Musk has a crazy idea. He like to build a multiplanetary species. And I just have another crazy idea, slightly different, but as crazy as his dream, to build a better society where everyone will have free education, free healthcare, and free material comfort for life. So they don't need to worry about day-to-day living, but just pursue their dreams to be what they want to be and to become what they want to become. That's pretty much my dream. So that's it. That's the one that motivates me.
I hear you. Yeah, that's great. I'm wondering, as your kind of assets or resources that you manage grow, has your attitude toward the amounts changed? Like, for example, maybe a long time ago it was millions of dollars, and then it became maybe hundreds of millions, and then eventually billions of dollars, and then, like you're saying, last year you lost, maybe billions of, potential, and then maybe this year and last year, I guess, you're making billions off of Tesla too, as Tesla, has risen dramatically since, beginning of 2020. How has your view of kind of, the fluctuations, the volatility changed over years? Are you the same person in how you view money as maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago?
I would say very different. Not because of my experience, but because I spend my research and my time really for San Yuan 2.0 powered by KQID time engine. I spend, based on my calculations, about 95% of my time. And 5% that I have really doing some for SHI International and for for the buying and selling, mostly buying Tesla, selling to get a profit so I can buy a more physical share. It's like a squirrel. You get your acorn and my acorn is Tesla physical share. Then I hide it somewhere in the hole to keep it until at least 2030. But the idea is again to accumulate it for my personal projects. And the funny thing is that in the past, partly because my research, I did not really spend enough time to invest and to trade. And I lost money. But miraculously, after I finished my research on KQED time engine, somehow everything's so clear to me. And somehow I can feel about time. And I use a lot of option tradings right now. So I can get a feeling, because option is a time instruments. And my engine is time engine. Somehow, even my company here in Singapore is called Time Merchants. Our slogan is that we buy and sell times. So people say, oh, what do you mean by buying and selling time? Are you crazy? No. I just say I'm buying options and selling options. That's one of them. But other thing is that in reality, we're living in times. Everything is in time. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to master the rates of the flow of the time. And then you can hopefully master also the capital that you accumulate.
I know a lot of people are very interested in kind of your story, like your background, and how did you accumulate your fortune? Like how did you accumulate the capital, to become, let's say, Tesla's third largest shareholder right now? What was kind of, the genesis, the starting point, and then what do you think kind of enabled the wealth generation that you've experienced?
How far back you want me to talk about this?
I have time, but maybe give a summary of kind of, your early history, but then maybe what was the starting point of really creating assets and wealth, and what happened after that?
Well, I would say after the law school, I graduated at the age about 30 years old. So I thought I have to do something. So I invested in real estate in New York. And I work hard to repair the building that I bought. So to increase the rent and to increase the value of the property. After 5 years, I had the opportunity to buy the assets of SHI, and it was a bankrupt company, and they did not deliver their goods and services to their customer for about 6 months, and they also lost any authorization of the software or hardware because they did not pay their debt. They're trying to sell me the ongoing company. Then when I did my due diligence, I find out this is a dead company. I don't want to buy the goodwill, which is no goodwill, right? So I'll buy your assets. So they're selling the Lotus 123. They're selling some Microsoft product. And I said I should buy 10 cents per dollar, something like that. They say, we negotiated, so maybe they'll agree. And then Lotus Corporation came to approach me and say, I heard you trying to buy this 10 cents per dollar. Buy. Yeah, you can buy that, but you cannot sell it. So, why? You need authorization from us. So, okay. And so what should I do? And he said, okay, you buy it at full price, so you don't flood the market, right? And we authorize you to sell it in the market. I was thinking about it, yeah. Because without that, what's the use for me to buy at 10 cents now? I have a zero value. So I don't want to do anything illegal, right? Do in the gray market. So I say, yeah. So we'll do that. So I bought their asset, I bought their furniture, I bought some names. So it cost only about $350,000. Later on, I need to sell all my buildings in New York. to fund the newly so-called enterprise that I developed, make international software house international. That's the name, because I have a great ambition to go internationally. Right now, we are a global company with almost 5,000 employees, and we generated about last year 11 billion, but this year probably more than 11.5 billions, and with no bank debt. And we are highly profitable, very tough marketplace. I created the first business model for this industry, which is very flat. People talking about flat organization, but we did it. We created a flat organization where no one in the company, including CEO, chairman, will have no secretaries. Everybody has to do their own. So the manager and the one even lower than manager, they have to manage their own business, like their own business. So I thought it would be more efficient, flat. At the same time, they will be happier because they don't need to ask their boss to do what they think is better, because sometimes their boss did not know more than they do, dealing with the customers.
I want to go back to Tesla a bit. It seems like you've developed a lot of conviction regarding Tesla and the future. And some of your tweets say, you've gone all in. So what does that mean to you? Like, what is going all in? And what is your time horizon? You mentioned maybe 2030 is kind of like the goal you have. Do you have other stocks, or besides SHI, of course, you have your ownership there?
So right now I'm 100% in Tesla. So I have no second stock. As in all my companies, all my holdings, they're all Tesla, because I do really believe in Tesla future. Tesla will be the biggest company ever known in the history of mankind. Elon Musk is really super genius and really great CEO. It's a rare combination. It's great in the engineers. I personally think even greater as businessman. It's unbelievable. And I would say, as long as he's running Tesla, no one can catch up with Tesla.
What do you see about Elon and Tesla that maybe other people who aren't invested in Tesla aren't able to see? So, like, how do you think people underestimate, Tesla or Elon? And what's your big bet? Like, you think this is the reason why, Tesla and Elon Musk is going to grow Tesla to become, the largest company in the world?
I would say the mind of Elon Musk. And it's difficult to describe in the physical sense. You just see it's happening, it's going on. He make the right decisions, like FSD, for example. He was against everyone else, but I think he's right. And to make decisions, I believe it's in 2018 or earlier, some report to 2016, and starting to put in so-called FSD hardware in the cars. And there is no money return for that. There's sunk cost. No other CEO would dare to do something like that. But he did that, and it's like a Trojan horse kind of a strategy. You put in your troops inside the horse, in this case cars, and then suddenly they wake up. They become FSD autonomous cars. And suddenly the value of it could be 10 times. So I think I read that Elon Musk said that will be the greatest kind of jump of value of the Tesla. I'm a little bit worried about my options. So sometimes I have cover option and they will jump 10 times, I will be in trouble. So that kind of mind is only from Elon Musk. And there are many others. And like Tesla bot, right? This is logical. And I agree with you 100% with your analysis. Tesla bot is probably, it's no limit to growth kind of corporation. And Tesla has the opportunity to dominate this industry if Tesla is allowed. I'm afraid it may not be allowed to, at least in some jurisdiction, because can you imagine you monopolize labor of the country, a labor of the world? And the way I see it, the way I saw their design, and their design is so simple, and they have all the parts, and they are not expensive. I did calculation for others to see. I calculated probably cost only 10 cents of a dollar. So I would estimate it maybe cost $2,000, which the value in average, maybe you can sell about 20,000. So with the gross margin would be about 90%. And the net margin could be about 50% or more, could be 60% if Tesla wants to. And it's going to be like a chip company or software company. And they're going to regenerate again and again. When you have momentum of technology, no one can catch up. Just like with Google's, with Facebook, with some other company right now that almost have monopoly power in the industry. So Tesla may have many potential monopoly. EV, which I estimated about $1 trillion opportunity. That's including the insurance and services. And Elon mentioned that the insurance may capture 30 to 40% of the value of the car. So you're talking about if the car value 600 to just say $600 billion in 2030, 20 million multiply maybe by $30,000 per car average, 600 million, but you have the insurance will be 30, 40% of that. And then you have the services part. So you have altogether about $1 trillion, and potentially they have 30 to 40% gross margin. And then energy, it's the market of energy, maybe 3 times of the EV market. So I would say, I just say cannot capture as good as the EV market, just capturing less market share, but still maybe $2 trillion per year opportunities. And then you have FSD that ARK Invest pointed out, maybe 10 to 12 trillion dollars market opportunity. Tesla can capture maybe 30% of that. You're talking about $3 trillion per year. So it's not outrageous. And how about the Tesla bot? Tesla bot at least is even much bigger opportunity than FSD. But because of government regulation, there are many competitors. Because of that, I think mostly regulation, I think Tesla I estimate, can capture 4 trillion businesses per year out of that. So very easy, 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunity in becoming $10 trillion company with a gross margin average could be 40%, could be even 40 to 50%. It's unheard of. And if I'm afraid the government will not allow Tesla to have this opportunity freely. So Tesla has to be very careful and to make sure it can help the people, make sure it can help the country, make sure they help the competitors to survive. And I think Elon Musk has the right mind, the right idea, the right execution, and he does not want to be the one that destroy other people. He like to help people, and I think he will succeed.
Great. Yeah, that's amazing. Your articulation of Tesla's potential, but also it seems like you see certain risk with governments. Tesla becoming maybe too big, too dominant, infringing or imposing on key domestic markets and companies. Definitely something. Tesla needs to navigate
Tesla
well.
is home ground in the U.S. But how hostile the U.S. government toward Tesla? They're hiring people who hate Tesla. It's quite amazing. But can you imagine other countries? So unless Tesla help the other country, they will not help Tesla. So Tesla also has to think its strategy, even in America, to make sure they spread the goodies to other people too. Have to work it out with unions, with the governments, with the lobbyists, with the lawyers, and with consumers, with people in general. So it's because Tesla is very unique situation, has to think about this issue. But however, it cannot be too early also. When too early, it will destroy itself. It will not be competitive enough because too generous, this and that, becoming very fat organization and wasting a lot of resources, and they will die, as Elon Musk like to say, and almost die many times. So it's not like easy ride, free ride. It's very hardcore. And I know you're the earliest investor, and you were riding the wave of Tesla up and down. Fortunately, it's so good right now, but it could be any moment. Tesla could be kaput, right? And fortunately, I would contribute it to Elon Musk's perseverance, willing to sacrifice his own fortune, taking all the risks. And of course, Tesla team engineers. Elon Musk does not build Tesla by himself. He's the brain, but other people, hands and feet, and also other brains, big brains. There are so many great engineers and great scientists in Tesla that help to build Tesla. So we have to give them credits. And I said, again, we shareholders, thank you to Elon Musk and his great teams, and his great teams rocks. And we are even so amazed with the Tesla China teams. Can you believe it, in only a few years already exceeding California have been built for maybe 12 years more or more. China just did in 2 years, exceeding California and the whole American teams. Of course, they are on the shoulder. They are moving up on the shoulder of the American team. So there's no doubt about that. But the achievement is just unbelievable. So I would say the Tesla China teams rocks, and we are just so impressed with their achievement, and we are grateful and thank you to them also.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. I want to dive into a bit about your Sun Yuan 2.0 powered by KQID time engine. So it seems like this is what you're most passionate about. It seems like this is your life work, what you've spent maybe 95% of your time on the past couple decades. And I'm curious, why is this important to you? Like, what does it mean? And why is this your top passion?
It's something very strange. I remember that Elon Musk said, destiny, it cannot escape. In a way, I was like that. So it was triggered when I was 4 years old. We played matches, And I put the matches under the pillow, so burned the pillow, almost burned my brother and me together. And then fortunately, he get up. He said, so hot. The pillow was burning. So it was so hot, he get up. And then I get up too. Then my mom took the mattress and threw it away into the window. And then the fire truck came. So it was a shocking kind of dramatic incident that vividly carved on my brain, that I remember seeing the fire truck. I say, why I caused so much trouble to my mom and to my brothers and others, almost killed them. So I was thinking, why not I just be a stone, to be that I can support the cars, and but at the same time I don't feel the pain. And so I couldn't imagine how could a 4 years old thinking that way. And that's changed my life in a way. Since that time I was thinking about how can I build a better system for the society. And then of course I went to school. I didn't know what the hell I was thinking about, but I went to school to study this, study that, all kind of thing. So I study economics, study politics, I study management, I study electronics engineering, I study civil engineering, I study psychology, sociology, and anything I can grab on. I study physics, of course, engineering, and others discipline. Later on, I studied international finance, international law, and organizations. So I'm trying to catch finally, when I was 27 years old, I said, I still don't have enough idea about how the role of the law in the society. So I decided to go to the law school, the New York Law School. At that time, there was a great professor named Myers McDougall. He was the founder of the Yale jurisprudence, and I like to learn from him. So he's teaching international law in that school. So I went, attended his school, and I learned a lot from his great mind and super mind. Of course, he had some, his system is not perfect, so I'm trying to improve his so-called rule of law system. And I found San Yuan later on. I found San Yuan in 2008, by the way. Finally, that's my breakthrough. Mm-hmm. I learned San Yuan from the Sid manuscript. It was found in Mamang Hui in 1973. And that manuscript, they found Lao Tzu, Dr. Ching, but most importantly, they found the Sid manuscript, I believe, to be the thought of San Yuan, mm-hmm. that was lost, according to Sima Qian, in the 100 BC. Mm-hmm. So for people, more than 2,100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So for many people who might be watching don't know who Sun Yuan is, could you give maybe a kind of brief intro into who Sun Yuan is and how important of a figure he is?
I would say, to tell the truth, not even Chinese know much about Sun Yuan. He was the founder and the creator of China. And 5,000 years ago, who we look back to Jesus Christ, right? It's so far away. And Confucius, for example, Lao Tzu, time, when they look back to San Yuan, it was more than 2,000 years ago at this time, but it was around 500 or 600 BC. So it's a very ancient figure, and he unified the tribes, and then he established the concept of Tao, which is the core of Chinese philosophy from that time until now. That's why I call it San Yuan Culture and Civilization 1.0. But they did not have the math and the physics that we know today, although San Yuan was credited to create a Huangdi calendar, still used today. And he watched the star and carved out the calendar to help the farmers when to plant and when to harvest, so they can increase their productivity As you know, in the Economics 101, productivity is the key for the wealth of the society. So the only way, so Tesla bot will help this productivity, unbelievable productivity to the point we can create much, much bigger pie that we can share to everyone. So there will be no more shortages of anything. And how about natural resources? Hey, we can mine them from asteroids. And if you look at the Milky Way alone, I think by now people think at least 300 to 400 billion stars with trillions of planets. Just our Milky Way, only one of the dot in our universe. And then we have Andromeda nearby that will merge with the Milky Way within 4.5 billion years, which is even bigger than our Milky Way. So they will be combined together. And so there's the thinking about the limited to grow. I remember reading about it, the limit to grow by the Club of Rome. It's pretty much saying that, well, we have to be poor to save the earth. I think that's the wrong concept. We have to improve our ability to mine, but mine it ecologically, a green way, and without harming our environment. As a matter of fact, we're going to improve our environment. We exploit it, but at the same time we improve it. Well, if you harvest a tree, you plant a new tree, maybe even better, and you you improve the soil, you improve everything else. So you can create a better forest, and also you can create a better city by planting more trees. In other words, and there's no limit to growth. So from our solar system, we can go to other solar system. I mean, star system, and there are trillions of them. And I would say in our Milky Way alone, just say about 300 billion system. And some system may have 2, 3 stars in it, three our suns. That's like a Star Wars movie, right? You're living in the 2-star system. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does what does this kind of philosophy or system entail then? The Xianyuan 2.0 powered by KQID. Is it what you're talking about? This idea of abundance, right, in the universe and in the world, and how to tap into that abundance. In our previous conversation, you're talking about the idea of giving first, taking later as one of the key kind of principles to tap into, more abundance. What other things are part of this system and philosophy that unlock abundance, for everybody?
I would say only one: giving first, taking later. So unlocks all abundance you can think of. San Yuan always thinking about giving first. For example, he said, my mission in life is to help those who have their own dream to achieve them. It's not his dream, but other people's dream. And the one who do not have their own dream, he will work with them to find their dream. If they cannot still find their dream, some people really lost, right? They have no dreams. So they say, don't worry, I'll take care of you. You'll be enough to live in a good enough life. So in a way, San Yuan thinking is trying to help the people and not about himself. It's about others. At the same time, I'm not saying that he never think about himself. He has 4 wives, for example, and one is Lei Tzu, who founded the so-called the Chinese silk civilization. And so his wife is a great lady that I think is not yet enough credit to her. And I think she's really the Silk Road, some other thing. It was originated by her, independently of San Yuan. So she's a great lady that I think I'm trying to celebrate her, but to have like the Mother's Days under her name, and also Sun Yuan name. So Sun Yuan is, we know he's the greatest that we know of to create the Chinese cultural civilization. And I think not only Sima Qian agree, that's during Han Dynasty, Sima Qian, the great historian, he wrote that we have to start from Sun Yuan Huangdi for Chinese civilization. And I personally agree, and from my research, all Chinese 100 school of thoughts, like Rucha, Confucianism, Facha, legalism, Daocha is a Taoism, and I add also Yangqia, it's from Yangchu, it's for self philosophy. Chinese has their own individual philosophy. They call it Yangchu, for self, for me philosophy. It's no different from the Epicurus from Greeks and some other great philosophers of the West.
If someone is interested in learning more about this system and theory, where can they go to find more information about this?
I think my tweet is enough. Okay. And my equation, believe it or not, can be put in the business card. And I have business card that contain all my theory. So it's not complicated at all. And I posted in my tweets the equation that contain all the theory that I have. Of course, you can unlock it, release all the power of it by studying more detail. But for most people, they don't need to. They just, from my tweets, they should be able to understand it. And really, the tweets designed for children and for sophisticated scientists like Einstein. Mm-hmm. And a Nobel Prize winner in physics. I believe they can learn from my tweets.
Great. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I'm curious to hear more about it in the future as well. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's been great getting to know you, Professor Leo, and your story and your thoughts and your perspective as well. Yeah, fantastic. I'm sure lots of people would be fascinated and so interested also in your story as well. Is there anything else you want to kind of share with folks who might be tuning in and listening in here?
I think life is about giving and taking. It's about sharing, about helping others to help yourself. As and like what you're doing, you're establishing others while establishing yourself. That's what I'm doing too. So in a way, many people do not understand that. They're thinking to establish others, they lose something. No, you don't lose something. That's why you gain something. And you cannot lose something. So the more you give, the more you get. So I would say be generous and give more to people as much you can. The keywords as much you can. It's not beyond your means, within your means. And the clever you give, like Elon Musk, right? He's giving a lot, but at the same time, he's the richest man in the world because he's giving the right way. The more you give, the more you take. That's exactly what happened. It's an example that he's the richest man in the world. That means he's giving the most in the world. Mm-hmm. That's my last message. Give first, take later. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Professor Lee. I'll go ahead and link to your Twitter description in the video, or Twitter bio in the video description below, so people can go ahead and check your tweets out and follow you. And yeah, definitely you're welcome on my show anytime, and I'd love to chat with you more. And yeah, I get to
again, it's my honor and privilege. And I maybe forgot to tell you that you are one of the reasons why I invested in Tesla in addition to Ron Barron. But I remember vividly you explained that Tesla will be is profitable machine. The more they produce, the more profit they have. So, yeah, this is a company I like to invest in. I get the idea from you, and I would say thank you. And
Great.
I think a lot of people also benefit from your podcast. And again, I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, thanks a lot. All right. We'll see you later. Thank you.